Hello, is it visible, audible? They have told yes. Army induct Saksham to, is that slide visible? Okay, so I think there was a small glitch, and thanks for everybody to be alert. You are all alert. So the next important news is Army inducts. Hello. Okay. So the next important news ಸಕ್ಷಮ್ ಅನ್ನುವುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇದೆ ಸಕ್ಷಮ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ವರ್ಡ್ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಕ್ಷಮತೆ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಸಕ್ಷಮತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಸಕ್ಷಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಿಚುವೇಶನಲ್ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಿಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ನಾವು, what is the type? It is a counter terrorism unmanned aerial system, that is it is called as a UAS. Who has developed it? BEL Ghaziabad, that is a indigenous agi develop ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. Remember one thing, indigenous defense equipment management is a defense equipment development is very important. So question can come like this: which of the below is saksham related to unmanned aerial system? It could be light LAF, that is ಲೈಟ್ ಏರ್ಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನುವ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Now what does it do? It has the ability to detect, track, identify and neutralize hostile drones, unmanned aerial systems into the system. Most important thing, ಏರಿಯಲ್ ಇದು ಕವರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 3000 meters is its cover above the ground, which is now part of the tactical battlefield space. Simple thing, saksham unmanned aerial system grid ಗೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ದೆನ್ ಆಪರೇಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜೀಸ್ ಸಿಂಧೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಿಗರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಸಿಂಧೂರಿನ ಒಂದು ಲೆಸನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಕಲ್ತಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಡೊಮೈನ್. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಜುಡಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಇನ ಒಂದು ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ enlarge this for you so that it is visible for everybody. Now what is it saying? Basically our judicial officers appointment related news. Now you all know that there is a term called as bar to bench. What is bar to bench? Bar is from the legal bar or a lawyer in the bench ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಆಗುವ ಒಂದು journey from lawyer to judge. Now this path of being from bar to bench has many hurdles, or you can say as process, because of which there is a huge judges number which is unfulfilled, or the appointment has not yet been done. Under article 233 of the constitution, district judges, remember there are district judges, high court judges and supreme court judges. In district judges there is also a civil court and a criminal court. Okay, so what are it saying? Are appointed via two methods. One is promotion of subordinate judicial officers, or direct recruitment from advocates with at least 7 years of ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್. ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಲಾಯರ್ 7 years ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದೆಮ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ಬಿಕಮ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್. ದೆನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ judge. Okay, whether judicial officers with prior bar experience could apply for the bar quota, or if only for non-service advocates. So recently on October 9th, that is this week, Supreme Court Rajneesh KV versus K Deepa ಅನ್ನುವ case. Remember, nowadays exams are asking about cases as well. So a lot of exams ask so and so case is related to what, or for example human rights case, or LGBTQ community case is which of the following deals with any of the cases anta. What are the provisions, or what is it that the judgment has said? Judicial officers who practiced as advocates for 7+ years before joining service can compete for the bar quota. In service officers can apply if advocacy plus judicial officers is totally 7 years. See, the nuances and how detailed will depend on whether the ruling actually brings into practice. Now, point of eligibility, experience is counted as on the date of application. 35 years ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಬಟ್ ರೂಲ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಈ ರೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನ 3 months ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ 3 months ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟಿನ ಜೊತೆ ಅಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, it is said that there are 3 towers. Okay, the 3 towers of administration are executive, legislature and judiciary, and it is said that the judiciary is the tallest tower anta. Okay, because of how much power the judiciary holds. So considering that, they have directed both the high courts and the states. Now, Article 233 clause 2 allows a direct recruitment of advocates with 7 years of experience. Restrictive ಮತ್ತು unjustified prior bar experience ಇದೆಲ್ಲ nuances of the judgment ಅಂತ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. In case you are writing a means answer, the significance and this implication, because a lot of time NJAC ಇಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು National Judicial Appointment Council ಇಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು the judges appointment has been a turbulent process. Okay, so one, it creates a legal level playing field. Two, it recognizes experience, that is prior bar practice is now counted along with judicial service. Okay, so wider candidate pool, ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ candidates ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ದೆ, judges doctors are always in lower number in comparison to the requirement. Okay, so this is about the judicial officers issue. Now coming to the next issue, that is India to launch a red list survey. So India has launched a first of its kind 11,000 species gala. How vulnerable are they to extinction? You all know that there is a scale for extinction: vulnerable, extremely vulnerable, endangered, vulnerable, extremely vulnerable, endangered, and nearly severely endangered, and finally extinct anta. So this survey is for the 11,000 species which are there. Scientifically rigorous framework for assessing the conservation status of India's biodiversity. Now there is a national or an international red list that is published by IUCN. Okay, so International Union for Conservation of Nature publishes a red list. This list is national red list, develops a coordinated system to assess and document the extinction species. Publication target to 2030 is the publication target. Establish a cadre of 300 qualified red list assessors, 5 national level trainers, and conduct assessments. Now the scientific framework of it is alignment with the IUCN framework. I just told you the IUCN is the international level framework. If we align ourselves with the international levels or standards, our approach is much easier. Now in the global context, remember, as of 2025, 169,000 species with nearly 28% threatened with extinction. The extreme of it, see, extinction is in 2 phases: extinction in the wild and completely extinct. Extinction in the wild ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಅರಣ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಕಾಣುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಝೂ, ಲ್ಯಾಬೊರೇಟರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವೈಲ್ಡ್. ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ಫುಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್. ನೌ 28% ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ನಿಯರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಥ್ರೆಟನ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ 17 ಮೆಗಾ ಡೈವರ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಇಂಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ you remember Western Ghats, Eastern Himalayas are one of the most diverse regions. Especially in the Western Ghats, we are talking about the Nilgiris anta helbodu. Eastern Himalayas alli namge Arunachal Pradesh, Namdapa National Forest, so ivella barutte. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಾಣುವಂತದ್ದು. ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು Andaman and Nicobar Islands. See, many people who are going for a lot of these trips to abroad nations or nearby islands should definitely visit Andaman for its natural beauty and biodiversity. India, the 4 of the 36, I just told you, like these are very important biodiversity spots, global biodiversity hotspots, and more than 20,000 marine species. Completion goal 2030 ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ, right? Okay, so we come to the next news, that is Indian Air Force on Wednesday celebrated its 93rd anniversary with a ceremonial parade at Hindon Air Base inally celebrate ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು Indian Air Force station. Now, Air Force, you all know, in modern warfare, more than artillery, that is army, more importance is for air force and one's air capabilities ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಇವಾಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಸಿಂಧೂರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್, there is a lot of emphasis for air aviation or air defense systems. Now the parade included a march past by air warriors, display of aircraft, and a commander's address. The parade was commanded by Group Captain Chetan Pradeep Deshpande. Now highlights and displays ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು? Standard Rafale, our delivered by French, Sukhoi M30 MKI, then MiG-29, C-17, Globemaster 3, Apache helicopters, Netra EEWS, Akash missile systems, and more. It is a tribute to the ರಿಟೈರ್ಡ್ MiG-21 ಬೈಸನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಎಂಫಸಿಸ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆದಂತಹ ಆಪರೇಷನಲ್ ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಸ್, ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? Is it audible to everybody? Okay, small ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ? Okay. See, I want to tell one thing. Recently, India has disclosed what damage has it done in Pakistan during Operation Sindoor. Earlier, we were worried or we were cautious about India-US relationship. Okay, so India-US relationship, because many of the fighter jets to Pakistan are exported by America. So if we say that we have demolished the aircrafts or air defense system of Pakistan, what will our engagement become? ನಮ್ಮಿಬ್ಬರ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. But in the recent times, USA is acting unilaterally. H1B visa cancellations ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, high, that is around $100,000 pay ಮಾಡಬೇಕು for H1B ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, or Trump announcing that he mediated between India and Pakistan and asked both of them to settle down ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಏನಿದೆ, India finally has decided that it will disclose what it has done in Operation Sindoor and how many of the air bases have been affected. It has disclosed its aviation aerial images, etc. ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮೆಮೋರಿಯಲ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಚೀಫ್. ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಪರೇಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಹೇಳುವಂತದ್ದು, ಮಾಡರ್ನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೆಡಿನೆಸ್. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, there are no permanent friends, there are no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, there are only permanent interests. This is the basis of international relations. There are no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, only permanent interest, and that interest is that respective country's national interest. Okay, so this is a major development recent years alli in India US relationship. There is a break because we were relying on America for a lot of our exports and so on, but that didn't happen. First point. Second point is our understanding of global world is vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Okay, that live and let live, or everybody has an equal participation anta. But in recent years, the world order is having two major poles, or another pole with America is emerging, that is China. S. Jaishankar, our foreign minister, has recently told everybody tells India should join some ally, be allied to somebody, or join some group. But S. Jaishankar has asked, you all tell me whom should we join and whom should we trust and join. Okay, so that is the uh, details about Air Force, day. Okay. Now, coming to the next part, Indian Air Force is set to receive its first LCA anta karitare. Okay, light combat aircraft anta. These are not Sukhoi 30 or any of the higher grade aircrafts. It is a light combat aircraft Tejas, but the more the number of these aircrafts, they are always beneficial. The Tejas Mk1A is an upgraded light combat aircraft variant with over 40 enhancements. Okay, so 40ಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು enhancements ಇದ್ದು, delayed primarily due to engine bottlenecks, that is IN20 certification requirement ಮತ್ತು recent issues. Okay, this marks a milestone in India's indigenous fighter aircraft program. It was delivered on 30th this September 2025. Our defense budget is one among the top 10 in the world. Okay, so in terms of our defense imports ಏನಿದೆ, one of we are in the top 10. And how do we reduce it? Through indigenous support. Indigenous production is the only way to reduce it. And for that purpose, we have HAL, NAL, DRDO, and all other tech organizations who can support us. So, significance: this marks milestone in India's fighter aircraft, helps begin phasing out of the aging MiG-21. So, LCA Tejas Barta MiG-21 ಏನಿದೆ, previous generation in most topmost aircraft ಅದನ್ನ phase out ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು. But the more important part is HAL plans to fast track deliveries and hand over the first two Tejas Mk1A jets in 2025. So now next um, air show, the next air show in Bangalore, we will be able to see and probably have a lot more Tejas flying together. Okay, right. The next issue, give me 1 minute. Okay, the next issue we are talking about is the cough syrup death toll in Madhya Pradesh. See, the nation is shook that 20 children, which is not a small number, ಇನ್ನು ಬದುಕಿನ ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಘಟ್ಟಗಳನ್ನೇ ನೋಡಿದಂತಹ children, 20 of them have died so far drinking contaminated cough syrup, while 5 are under treatment for kidney failure. So adulteration, an important and a dangerous thing, especially when it comes to food and medicines. Okay, now what are the key issues? Where has it happened? Remember, it has happened in Madhya Pradesh. That is 17 are from Chindwara district, 2 from Betul, and 1 from Pandurna district in Madhya Pradesh. Regulation and oversight gaps, weak enforcement of drug safety norms, monitoring and pharmaceutical manufacturing and sale of medicines in remote areas. First. Second, ಫೇಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರೂ ಕಳಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅಡಲ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್, ಇನ್ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೋಸಸ್, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಮ್ಫುಲ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಥನಾಲ್, ಗ್ಲೈಕಾಲೋ, ಡೈಥಲೀನು, ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಾಜಿಡೀಸು ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ see, one person in the chain, if they are not able to, or the entire system is not having a right way of monitoring this, then there will always be problems. Accountability and redress need quick legal and regulatory response, compensation and punitive actions. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರುವ ಕಾರಣ ಇದಾಗಿರುವುದು. It can happen in any other state as well, because it will be a centralized dispersal. Okay, then India being at the point of Indian Ocean, or let us say Indo-Pacific. See, we all know the future of the world order will evolve or open in Indo-Pacific. So from India to the Pacific Ocean, the future of world order will unveiled here. And for that purpose, we are doing a lot of exercises, and this exercise is between the coast guards, that is the Indian coast guards, and the Indian Navy. Okay, so where it was held in Chennai coast, and it is called as NAP, NATPOLREX. Okay, so it stands for National Level Pollution Response Exercise. It is a biennial flagship exercise conducted by the Indian Coast Guard under the National Oil Spill Disaster Contingency Plan. So recently in the East Coast, olive ridley turtles anta on barutte. You might have all heard about it. Olive ridley turtles. Okay, so these olive ridley turtles come and visit the East Coast. Okay, so these olive ridley turtles come and visit the East Coast, and at this East Coast we have oil spills agi ಈ olive ridley turtles. So they were not able to survive, and for that purpose, what does, or how do they do the exercise in case we have an olive ridley turtle that is coming in anta? When and where coast of Chennai, of the coast of Chennai ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, national stakeholders, that is central ministries, state governments, oil handling, etc., international observers, over 40 foreign observers from 32 countries have participated in this. Okay, evaluate ಮತ್ತು ಮುಂದೆ ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಆಲಿವ್ ರಿಡ್ಲಿ ಟರ್ಟಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪಿಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ರೈಟ್, ಸೊ okay, now coming to the Nobel Prize on Physiology or Medicine. So we have already seen the Nobel Prize on physics, chemistry, literature. Now medicine. Remember, there is no Nobel Prize for mathematics. It is called as the Fields Medal, and the requirement is you have to do significant work before 40 years of age. Okay, so other requirement. 2025 Nobel Prize in Medicine was announced on 6 by Nobel Assembly at so and so in Sweden, awarded for landmark discoveries explaining immune tolerance, how immune system distinguishes between self and non-self, preventing it from attacking body's own cell. Why is it important? Let us say we all have our immune system. The immune system should know which is our own cell, or and which is an outside or a non-self cell. So a non-self body, how it will distinguish will depend on how effective is this. Let us say, for example, if the immune system is not able to detect non-self organism and doesn't act, then it will come and destroy the entire immune system. First point. Second point, if the immune system itself detects, say for example, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, okay, that is HIV ಅಥವಾ human immunovirus ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ, that will attack its own cells, self ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, and that is dangerous. Okay, so who are the people who have been awarded? Mary Brunkow, ಫ್ರೆಡ್ ರಾಮ್ಸ್ಡೆಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಮಾನ್ ಸಗಾಗುಚ್ಚಿ ಅನ್ನುವರು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟರಿ ಟಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪಿ3 ಜೀನು ಇವರಿಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೊಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. ರೀಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಟೋ ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್, ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಇಮ್ಯೂನೋಥೆರಪಿಗೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. Their combined work explained how the body's immune system prevents self destruction, so provides a molecular and cellular basis for treating autoimmune disorders. That is, for example, type 1 diabetes ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, rheumatoid arthritis ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಇದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, see, science, we always say science is ahead of technology. Science will be here, technology will help science reach common man. Now, how quickly science reaches common man is the work of technology. Okay, right. So next ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. So recent ಆಗಿ crimes against children surge in Assam, Rajasthan and Kerala. So there is a lot of crimes against children. Remember, POCSO ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರೈಮ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಅಫೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರೈಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಪಾಕ್ಸೋ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಕ್ರೈಮು ನಾನು ಈಗಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಅಫೆನ್ಸಸ್. ದ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕ್ರೈಮ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಬ್ಯೂರೋ NCRB ಅನ್ನುವುದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಆ 9.2% ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಈ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ borders. Okay, so Assam, Rajasthan and Kerala. What are the kinds? One is kidnapping, abduction mattu POCSO related antaha crime. So child crimes have increased by 80% from 2014. That is year on year 9% ಹಾಕೊಂಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 80% ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಈ ಮೂರು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರೈಮ್ ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಅಸ್ಸಾಂ. Okay, frequent reporting of sexual violence, that is ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಮತ್ತು ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕಿಂಗ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ border regions ನಲ್ಲಿ it is very highly sensitive region. Okay, then Rajasthan, over 10,000 cases. Police cite strict FIR registration as a reason for rise. Many cases found false on investigation. When any state sees a rise in crimes, first thing the state government says is, crimes happen in every state. In our state, it is so legal system, or people have so much faith in legal system that people are registering, and hence the numbers are higher anta heltare. And the state governments in every state defends that crimes are happening everywhere, but they are not getting registered. So the Rajasthan government or the police are saying that strict FIR registration policy ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಸಿನ ರೈಸ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೇರಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾರ್ಪ್ ರೈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಅಬ್ಯೂಸ್, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಹೋಮ್ಸ್, ಅಂಡ್ ನೋಟಬಲ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಚಾಂದ್ನಿ ಕೇಸು ಅಂತ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. Key causes of under reporting, online exploitation and judicial delays. How do we take this ahead is, one, awareness and reporting. POCSO ina ಏನು ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಡೈಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. The punishment should be quite fast and timely disposal of cases, and handling children related crimes needs special training, and it should be given to all. Okay, right. Now we come to the next point, which is Indian Navy to commission INS, Indian Naval Ship Androth anta. Okay, so Androth is set to commission, and it is a anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft. Anti-submarine warfare shallow water craft, and it will be in Vizag. Remember, our naval ships are docked in some major dockyards, that is naval dockyards, Vizag being one of them. Say for example, 1971, when the India-Pakistan war and eventual Bangladesh formation happened, ಸಿಂಧೂರಿಗೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ we were seeing sirens blowing, people being requested to stay at home and all. In the 71 war, at the east coast, there was a threat of Ghazi. which is naval ship of Pakistan. Okay, so in the entire east coast, that is from Chennai till Paradeepa, there was a lot of sirens blowing, especially in Vizag. Even today, a lot of people who were there during that people ಆ ಟೈಮಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ ಇದನ್ನ. ದಟ್ ಸೈರನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಿ, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಬೇಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಗಾಜಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಫಿಲಂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. INS ಆಂಡ್ರಾತ್ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಅರ್ನಾಲಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ರೀಚ್ ಶಿಪ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಕೋಲ್ಕತಾ ಇಂದ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಕಮಿಷನ್ 2025ರಲ್ಲಿ. 80% of it is from India. It is Atmanirbhar Bharat related. Length, breadth, speed, endurance, sonar, you all know all of these are very, very important. What is the main thing? One is coastal security is enhanced because of it. Then it is part of the 8 ship project of under this SWC. ಮತ್ತು ಆತ್ಮನಿರ್ಭರ್ ಭಾರತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, that we are able to build majority of it within ಭಾರತ್. ಮತ್ತು ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ನೇವಲ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಥನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಈಗಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, 2 ಕಮಾಂಡ್ಸ್, ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ನೇವಲ್ ಕಮಾಂಡು, ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ನೇವಲ್ ಕಮಾಂಡು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅವರ್ ಇಂಡೋ ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ. Okay, then force multiplier along with Kamorta class submarines and corvettes and so on. Right, now we have another news related to the rankings. So we have seen a major shift in rankings especially, and this you all know, national institutional ranking framework. This is the hallmark of how good a institute is in India. And who gives this? This is given by MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development. In 2025 has started giving this higher education in India on various parameters. First rank of it is IIT Madras. Okay, so recently ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಜಾಲತಾಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಹರಿದಾಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ director of the institute coming on to the student mess and announcing that we have come rank 1 again this year anta. So this is IIT Madras's achievement, followed by namma IISc Bangalore. Bangalore alli iruvantaha IISc Bangalore is in second place. This is overall. IIT Delhi is in third place. What is the criteria? adu important. So yavudu anta gottayitu, yaru kododu anta gottayitu, rankings gottagide. In criteria, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 30%. ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 30%. ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಏಥರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಇವಿ batteries and EV vehicles, there has been a lot of contribution from IIT Madras and their alumni association particularly. Okay, so graduation outcomes 20%, outreach and inclusivity 10%, perception 10%, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಆಗಿದೆ. Conception and accountability among institutions, research and orientation. Okay, next ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು TFR. Okay, what is TFR? Total fertility rate. Now, a total fertility rate, TFR, is for every 2 people, how many people are born? Okay, so or one mother ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ born ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. A TFR of 2 is considered as ideal for replacement. Okay, so one mother ಗೆ 2 members born agadu ideal for a replacement. It is called total fertility rate. In countries like Japan, it is very, very less. It is much lesser than 2, around 1.5, 1.6 in the Japan alli. Okay, so in India, the total fertility rate varies from state to state. In some states like Bihar, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, the TFR is higher. In other states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, the TFR is lesser. Okay, now a new metric as crude birth rate. India's crude birth rate, CBR, the number of children per 1,000 people in population in a year. ಸಾವಿರ ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ 0.7 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. 17.1 ಇಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು 18.4 ವರೆಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, in UPSC, population control and measures is an important topic. How you do it, what are the methods, cafeteria approach ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಇದನ್ನ ಅಂತ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಾಸ್ ಬಹು ಮೇಳಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ರೂರಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್, ಆಶಾ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲಿಟಿ ರೇಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ for the first time in 2 years to 1.9 in 2023. Like I said, for replacement of population, 2 is the number. Actually 2 to 2.1 anta heltare, considering some people don't make it to full lifetime. But our population total TFR is below 2. In 2021 and 2022, India's TFR remained at 2. Okay. Now, amongst the CBR, highest to Bihar 25% to Tamil Nadu 12%. 18 states and union territories have reported a TFR of below 2.1. Like I said, the replacement number is 2.1. 18 ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಟೆರಿಟರಿಗಳು ಇದರಿಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದರ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಜನಗಣತಿಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾರ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. 1961 ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ established. Nodal ministry, Ministry of Home Affairs. Who is the head? Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India is the head. This is an important aspect for from the exam point of view. Okay, so what all does the Registrar General of India do? They do the census operations, they do the civil registration system, sample registration system, national population registry, socio-economic caste data collection. All of it is done by the office of the Registrar General. Now, let me tell you one part of population control. In why it has become a point of contention is population is the ultimate resource, but the uncontrolled growth can turn it into a liability. Two reasons. One, demographic dividend, what we call, that is people in the youth age of 16 to 60 years of working, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಗದೆ ಅವರ ಡೆಮೋಗ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಡಿವಿಡೆಂಡ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಕೆಲವಷ್ಟು ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳು, some states have done exceptionally well in population control. Okay, so it could be, for example, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, who have taken a lot of measures to control population. But in the recent allocations of the budget, what happens is when the budget is allocated, it depends, the budget allocation depends on how much population is present in each of the states. Okay, so there was a contention that for good governance we are being penalized. Okay, ನಾವು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆಡಳಿತವನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಫರ್ಟಿಲಿಟಿಯನ್ನ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ GST ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬಂದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಲೆಟ್ us look at GST. Now, the GST Council has approved a 2-slab rate, tax slab. Remember, GST ಒಂದು ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ವಿಜಯ್ ಕೇಲ್ಕರ್ ಅಂತ. Okay, so Vijay Kelkar is the person who brought what is called as the white paper. Anything in economics, it is first a white paper is released. all the people who have an idea about what is happening, let us say ನಮ್ಮ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಲರ್ನಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆ ವೈಟ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಓದ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರ ಅಂಕೆ ಅನಿಸಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಡಿಬೇಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಆನ್. ವಿಜಯ್ ಕೇಲ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ವೈಟ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಆಫ್ GST ಅನ್ನ ಹೊರ ತಂದಾಗ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಸಜೆಷನ್ 14% ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಂಥದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅ ಮರ್ಸಿಡೀಸ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಎಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ರೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಲಾಜಿಕ್ಕಿನಿಂದ ಹಲವಾರಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಂದಿದ್ದರು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. Second point, the GST, instead of simplifying, had a lot of sub clauses and clauses because every element of GST has to be categorized. Okay, so this is in pursuit of good governance anta helbodu. Good governance or lean governance ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊಂದಲಗಳನ್ನ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು 2 ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 5%, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ 18%. Okay, like I said, how can we tax the bread and Mercedes at same slab? No. Okay, so much lower essential commodities ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ 5% ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ there is a sin goods. In economics we say something called as sin goods. Okay, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಸಿನ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಗರೇಟ್, ಟೊಬ್ಯಾಕೋ, ಲಕ್ಸುರಿ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಸೈಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಸಿಡೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಲಕ್ಸುರಿ ಕಾರ್ಸ್, ಲಿಮೋಸೀನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಹೆಲಿಕಾಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಯಾಚ್, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನ ಸಿನ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಕ್ಕರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ರೇಟ್, ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸಿನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು 40% ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲಿ there are 2 categories and an additional one for sin goods only. ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ September 22 effective coinciding with the festival of ನವರಾತ್ರಿ. ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್. ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ at 5% will be cheaper, especially essential commodities, that is ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ ಫುಡ್, ಸೋಪು, ಡಿಟರ್ಜೆಂಟು, ಹೇರ್ ಆಯಿಲ್, ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ಸ್, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ದೆನ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಸ್ಲೇಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 0% GST. ಕೆಲವಷ್ಟು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ರೋಟಿ, ಪರಾಟ, ಪನ್ನೀರು, ಮಿಲ್ಕು, ಎರೇಸರ್ಸು ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಪಲ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ 0% GST ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಹಲವಾರಷ್ಟುಗಳನ್ನ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟಿವಿ, AC, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಸ್, ಮೋಟರ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ಸ್, ಆಟೋ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನ 18%ಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೆಲವಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿಗಳನ್ನ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್. People are hesitant to buy insurance, health insurance or any other insurance, life insurance. And how do we encourage people to buy anything? Make it tax free. Okay, that is from government point. But ಕೆಲವಷ್ಟು ಸೇಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬೆವರೇಜಸ್, ಕಾರ್ಬೋನೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೆವರೇಜಸ್, ಟೊಬ್ಯಾಕೋ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮೂವ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಗುಡ್ ಗವರ್ನೆನ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್. Remember, GST is a the most developed economies in the world have GST. Cannot be assumed that because earlier there was a sales tax which the government, that the state government, used to impose. Okay, then a value added tax came, that is a VAT ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ value added tax ತಂದಾಗ್ಲೂ there was a huge backlash, like our power of allocate our power of taxes, putting taxes, etc. is removed anta. But that value added tax added a lot more taxes, that is tumba tax amount anna add ಮಾಡ್ತು. ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಡೆಡ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ರಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಷನ್ ನಮಗೆ GST. For all the young people, you might know many years ago ವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ, ಅದರ ಬದಲು ಈಗ GST ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ರೈಟ್. Let us look at the next issue. The next issue we are looking at is the leader of opposition in Bihar, LOP ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, leader of opposition has declared that if voted to power, their alliance would increase reservation to 85%. Okay, see, constitutionally saying reservation is guaranteed under clause article 15 for educational institutions, article 16 clause 4 for public employment, that is government service. Under the Indira Sawhney case, under article 16 clause 4, that is government employment inalli reservation ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು 50% it cannot exceed 50% ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿತ್ತು. But Tamil Nadu had 69% from the beginning of time. Okay, first point. Second point, Tamil Nadu had posted this or put this under the 9th schedule of the constitution, and this schedule was told that the Supreme Court cannot review this schedule. Okay, so only Tamil Nadu is able to exercise this 69%. So many people have tried to implement above 50% in the hope that they will come to power under article 16 clause 4, but the Supreme Court has quashed all such judgments. All such judgments have been quashed by the Supreme Court except the Tamil Nadu judgment, which is because it is under the 9th schedule. Now there are two arguments for and against. For ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ social justice ಗೆ related ಆಗಿ OBC SC ST communities ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ಡೆಮೋಗ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಇನ್ನು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜನರಿಗೆ 50% ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇಂದ ಹಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎವಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಜುರಿಸ್ಪ್ರುಡೆನ್ಸ್. ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತು, 16 clause 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ 16 6 ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎಲಿಜಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ the central government added 16 clause 5 and 6 saying people who belonging to any category under the economically weaker section can take reservation of 10%. Now the 50% under this plus the 10%, this 10% is not included in this 50%, because the Supreme Court has clearly told only 16 clause 4 is limited to 15%. Okay, now evolving jurisprudence 2021 ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೆರಿಟ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. is there no value for merit? ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಮೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್, somebody who is quota ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು risk of reverse discrimination is also a concept, and judicial caution. ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ತರದ ಒಂದು ಪಾಲಿಸಿಯನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪವರಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಅದಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗದೆ ಇರೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟೀಸ್ಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಪ್ರಾಮಿಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಎವರ್ ಅಲೌಡ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay, so this is something we need to know the entire background of things. Revisit the cap on socio-economic data, that is caste census, reaffirmative action with meritocracy, quota support measures. Right. Okay, so the next important thing is, so Madhya Pradesh government Supreme Court ಗೆ 50% ಕೋಟಾ ಏನಿದೆ ಇಂದಿರಾ ಸಾವ್ನಿ ವರ್ಸಸ್ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ 1992 ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಬಲ್, ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ let allow it to be overlooked in special situations. What are these special situations? That is remote tribal areas ಗೆ ಕೊಡುವಂತಹ needs. For example, if they have to be allowed, that is extraordinary circumstances, remote tribal areas with special needs, give them that percentage. Constitutional balance between equality and affirmative action of 15 and 16. I just told you affirmative action, no? Positive of affirmation anta ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Is it there only in India? No. Okay. Positive affirmation is there in America also, USA. That is, for example, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ there should be certain percentage of Hispanic community, there should be certain percentage of Mexicans, there should be certain percentage of people of color anta ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Okay. Similar thing, even in job, let us say there should be some inclusion of all types of people anna kodabeku. This is called as positive affirmation. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಕೀ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಮರಾಠ ಕೋಟಾ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟು ಖಂಡಿತ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, 50% ಕೇಸು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮರಾಠಾಸಿನ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ನ ವಿತ್ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ವೀಕರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ ಕೋಟಾ 10% ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬಿಂಗ್ ದ 50%, 15 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 6, 16 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 6 ನಾನು ಈಗಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಈ ಎರಡು ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಲೌಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್, ತಮಿಳುನಾಡು, ರಾಜಸ್ಥಾನ, ಮಧ್ಯಪ್ರದೇಶ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ, ಇದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. See, today in government, 44% of government employment is through contractual labor. They are all contractual employment because the government is not having very regular employment notifications. So any such expansion of reservation will not add a huge lakhs together jobs. It might be a misconception among, and or maybe it may be playing to the people or the populist policies for people to get votes. But the youth should not be under the assumption that just breaking this 50% will lead to crores of jobs in any state government or central government. That kind of a facility or that kind of a job market is not there in the government. These are the facts related to reservation, right? Okay. ಸೊ ಇದು ಆತ್ಮನಿರ್ಭರ್ ಭಾರತ್ ಮತ್ತು ಏರೋಸ್ಪೇಸ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒತ್ತನ್ನ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. H125 ಏರ್ಬಸ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆದಂತಹ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ಫೇಮಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹಿಮಾಲಯಾಸು, ಆಂಡೆಸ್, ಆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್, ರಾಕೀಸು ಇದರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಆ ರೀಜನ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಕೆಪಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇರೋದು. ದೆನ್ ANRFs ಸರಲ್ ಟು ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಯಾವುದು, ANRF ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಅವರು ಸರಲ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಟೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸರಲ್ ಟೂಲ್ accessible research articles in local languages. Say for example, Science Direct anta one publication. Okay, so all of these publications cost, let's say, $10. Okay, but India dalli IITs, NITs, IISc, all of these professors will want access to these articles. Okay, but everybody paying money to any of these articles is expensive. Hagagi accessible research articles in local languages, ಈ articles research language articles ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ local languages ಅಲ್ಲಿ make scientific research more accessible. Okay, ಅನುಸಂಧಾನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ 2025ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ವೈಡರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಗೆ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. Promote science communication in regional languages. It bridges the gap between scientists, policy makers, students, and general public. Right. So with this, we have come to the end of our weekly current affairs class.